So thank you, Professor Rao, for this very nice introduction, and I want to thank the organizers to have invited me on behalf of Arianespace to speak in front of such distinguished audience. And I'm very pleased to be once again back in India because, as I will explain in my presentation, there are a lot of ties which bind very closely India and Arianespace. First of all, as it has been said by Professor Rao, I would like to insist on the fact that during the last 30 years, Arianespace become very present in everyday life. Since we were created in 1980, and since then we place the space at the center of everyday life. First of all, of course, with Space for Science, and all the satellites that we launch help us to better understand the universe. Today, it seems normal to have beautiful pictures of the stars, beautiful pictures of the planets, or I met this morning Mr. Madhavan, very, very interesting picture of the surface of the moon, which had been taken by the Indian spacecraft Chandrayaan. But all these very important achievements for our knowledge and understanding of the universe will not exist without the satellites. Second, of course, we are very interested and we launched a number of satellites for Earth observation, and these satellites help us to monitor the environment. Then we also launch satellites for security, because today space is a must to deliver appropriate information, to allow different armies to communicate between them, and we launch also the satellites. But last but not least, of course, we are launching a number of telecommunication satellites, and since our ascension, we had the pleasure to launch a number of Indian satellites for communications, and with these satellites, we are, of course, connecting the world. And so, in this new world, which is global, digital, interactive, and now mobile, and I am sure that you understand what I mean, because we are here in the heart of the Indian Silicon Valley, we are launching the most advanced satellites for high-definition direct television. Direct television is very common in the world today, but high-definition direct television, you should know that one channel of high-definition direct television replaces 16 channels of normal direct television, and of course it creates a very big need for transponders in orbit. We are launching also satellites for broadband connectivity, which is so-called as Internet by the Sky. And last but not least, mobile communications, the possibility to have communications with Internet, with your email, whatever you are in the world. In total, since our inception, we launched a total of 265 payloads for 71 customers, including, of course, ISRO, and this representing today more than 50% of operational commercial satellites. On this map, you see that in the Americas, we launched 50% of satellites, in Europe, Middle East, and Africa, about 50, and in Asia, 65. Now, a few words about our company. We are a European company. We have today 23 shareholders coming from 10 European countries. We have a strong convention with the European Space Agency, and there are links also existing between ISRO and the European Space Agency. Our launches are performed from the Guyana Space Center in French Guiana. French Guiana is located not so far from the equator, at 5 degrees of north latitude in the northern part of South America. And after my speech, in fact, I will fly direct to French Guiana because we have the next launch of Ariane next Thursday. And of course, I will attend this launch. And we are now in a process to operate 3 launchers. First, of course, the heavy lift Ariane 5, which is our workhorse and which is now fully operational and CSG. But in the coming months, we will introduce 2 new other launchers for other applications, for smaller satellites. The mid-size Soyuz within the frame of a cooperation with Russia, and the light Vega, which will be the next European light launcher. Arianespace, in fact, is a launch services company, and it means that from contract signature to in-orbit delivery, we are committed to provide the financing, insurance, and schedule assurance to our customers, and this point is very important. We are procuring launchers from industrial manufacturers, and we are monitoring their quality, and we are committing to this quality for our customers. And last but not least, we are performing the mission with all the mission analysis, the interface validation, the satellite launcher and combined operation in our facilities in French Guiana, and of course we use the launch facilities and we proceed to the launch. Today we have quite a big order book. We have a total of 32 GTO satellites to launch with mainly Ariane 5, and we are very proud that out of these 32 satellites we have INSAT 4G that we will launch by the end of this year. Besides this, we have a number of Ariane 5 institutional launches, mainly for the servicing of the space station with the ATV, the Automatic Transfer Vehicle, and we launched last year the first of these ATVs, and we have also 7 Soyuz-specific launches. A few words about Ariane 5. Ariane 5 is today the most reliable heavy lift launcher. We have a total of 42 launches, and we have 28 successes in a row. Since the beginning of 2003, we had only successes. We have 2 versions of Ariane 5. Ariane 5 VCA, which is today the best solution to launch satellites up to 9 tons in GTO, and Ariane 5 ES, which is a perfect launcher to deploy complex systems in low Earth orbit as the ATV, or in middle Earth orbit as Galileo, which is the European Global Positioning System. With Ariane 5, we are performing 6 to 8 launches per year. We have 2 launch tables, which provides us with search capability and reactivity, and we have today 49 launchers, which are currently in production. Soyuz, everybody knows the Soyuz. Soyuz launchpad is now being completed in French Guiana by the European Space Agency, Arianespace, and then Russian partners. And with Soyuz, we will launch primarily scientific and Earth observation satellites in MEO, LEO, and escalate orbits. And we plan to have the first flight of Soyuz in French Guiana by the end of this year. Vega. Vega is the last one. It's a small launch vehicle, a light launch vehicle, which will have performance of 1.5 ton in low Earth orbit, and we plan to introduce Vega in commercial service next year. So you see that with these 3 launch systems, we can launch the heaviest payload. This is the case with Ariane 5, and dual launch with Ariane 5 ECA provide our customers with twice as many launch opportunities as the competition. We can also launch smaller programs with Soyuz, with Vega, and we have a combined operation in the future of Ariane 5 and Soyuz in French Guiana. This will allow a flawless dual launch system. A few words about our achievements of last year. In 2008, we achieved with Ariane 5 the successful launches of 10 communication satellites to GTO, which is roughly 50% of the market. As I said, we also launched the ATV Jules Verne to the station, and we performed in just 12 months 9 Ariane 5 launches. With Soyuz in Baikonur, not yet in French Guiana, we launched the first demonstrator satellite, GeoWebby,